This is my rear tire, and I had a blowout over the weekend. Um, when I went to take a look at the hole, I had a gigantic one here, a nail in here, and another nail here. In order to plug these, I went and got a plug set, which is really good. It's $1.50. This is a really good plug set. I've never used it before. I used it once before. So I knew that it worked really good. And the reamer here is to clean it, and the threader or the needle is to push the rubber through. But because I got this 10 years ago, back in 2005, actually 12 years ago, the plugs kind of lost their strength. And I pushed in the plugs on this one and it broke. I went through every single plug on this one. On this one, I pushed it through, pulled it out, and it worked fine. Then I could not get this one because a nail was in here. I couldn't expand the hole big enough so that the plug would go through, and it just kept on breaking. I went through every single plug to get it through here. On this one, the plug was too small. It did go through, it did pull out, but after I put slime in there, and I'll show you how I did the slime. But I put the slime on there, it went to the hole, and it started to fill this one, but it couldn't fill this one. So the plug on this one, the slime kept on going through. I couldn't pull it out. It kept on breaking. I went through all of them. I thought the plug was kind of weak. It didn't feel right. It didn't set right. And then the slime just kept on going there, kept on pushing out. So I knew this was leaking, and I knew the slime was not holding it either, and I knew the hole was big. In this case, I went and I used an inner tube, cut it to 2 lengths, so I went 1/2 inch, actually 1/4 inch, cut it twice, stuck it through my threader, stuck it in there with rubber cement all over it, and that is an inner tube right there. It's two strips, so it's 4 strips. So it went in, it went out, I cut it, and then I shaved it down so it's actually 4 strips. On this one, the slime could not seal it. And although the slime went to the area and it reacted, it started to seal. You could see the slime working on the outside. It could not seal it. And therefore, at some point, the plug, which I have right here, this is the plug, half of it, flew out and hit me in the leg. But I put 40 pounds of air. I had to put 40 pounds of air twice, and the plug didn't work. So basically, this one was too big, this one was too small. The plug would not go through there. The plug went through here, but it wasn't big enough. I ran out of plugs. There are no more plugs. Not only that, the plugs are 10 years old. They literally disintegrated. They didn't disintegrate, but on these little, where it's heavy duty, you need heavy duty stuff, and it just couldn't hold. So I got a inner tube that I had extra, cut the strips out, used my patch kit, the rubber cement from the patch kit, to vulcanize the rubber, put it on all the strips, completely filled the strips, pushed it through, pulled it out, and I used the hand pump and put 30 pounds in it. Now the hand pump that I used was called a Joe Blow. it's probably one of the best hand pumps around. If you have a road bike, or if you have an expensive road bike, the Joe Blow by Top Peak will pump your bicycle tire up to 110 pounds in 10 strokes. So 10 pushes on that pump, and that tire is at 110 pounds. That's how powerful it is. This one, to get up to 30 pounds, I had to do about 30 to 40 strokes, which was not bad. But that will tell you how powerful that hand pump is. And I'll do a review on it in a video so you can see what it looks like. I'm not going to test it, but if you want to pump your motorcycle tire up, or if you're looking for a hand pump, I can tell you right now that that is probably one of the best pumps you will ever come across. So, how did I get this inner tube to be a better plug and to fit holes that a normal plug would not and could not plug? And I'll try to explain it next. So these are the holes, 30 pounds. There's slime in there. It's not going to the holes. Therefore, I know it has no leak. So I'm going to do once you do a plug or a patch, now this is a very difficult tire to take off. I painted the wheels. I just painted it white. And you can see that. It's nicely painted. The whole thing is painted. The whole thing is painted. I just painted it. And it's very difficult to take off the rim. So the plug is probably the best. Now, I've got 4 plugs sitting in this tire. So when I shake it, I can hear the plug rolling around in there. Honestly, I don't care if there's a plug inside my tire. Okay. Hopefully the slime will just adhere it, or the cement will just adhere it to the side of the wall. Okay. So once you do the plug, or even a patch, you want to get your digital gauge, and once you do your gauge, you want to get your digital gauge, and you want to find out how much it's leaking per hour. Okay, so let's say I put 30 pounds in there. Right now it's reading 30 pounds. If in the next hour or 60 minutes I take another reading and I find out that it's 29 pounds, and I know for a fact that it's losing 1 pound of air per hour. So that tire can only last 30 hours. Okay. Now this is important because if you're stranded on the side of the road and every hour you're losing 1 pound and you're 6 hours away from your house, you know that in 6 hours you're going to have 24 pounds of air in that tire. Furthermore, if you're on vacation and you have a leak, or you ran over a nail and you don't want to pull the nail out, and you have an air pump with you, and you put, say, 30 pounds in there like I did, and in the next hour you are reading 30 pounds, then you're not losing any air per hour. That doesn't mean in the next air. Now this will read down to 0.5. So if I'm getting a 29.5, then I know that it's registering 0.5. Now if I'm losing 0.3 per hour, then in 2 hours it's going to round off to 0.5 because I'm at 0.6. So it's better to take it per hour and then per 2 hour. and then do a spot check occasionally before you get home. The same applies if you have a flat or a problem with your tire and you are trying to get to work. If you monitor it, you want to take a reading per hour or find out how much air, and then do your mathematics and determine how much air you have until the tire goes flat or until you have to pump it up again. Now, the plug is the problem. One I don't have anymore. I've got 4 of them in the tire, and they don't hold up and they don't fit. One size doesn't fit all. Any kind of rubber, any kind of material is good. You know, I guess you could take a cloth and stuff it in there, but a cloth, is not going to hold it, and it's not going to conform to the hole like rubber will. And rubber vulcanizes cement when you put rubber cement on one side of rubber and on the other contact cement, and let it dry and then press it together. It's almost a weld. It does what they call vulcanize, and it literally welds the two materials together. So the plug kit comes with a reamer so that you can clean out the hole, which I did, and this is extremely good because you want it to go in smoothly, and this will allow you to push it in smoothly. Now the reamer, it will hold a strip probably ½ inch, almost an inch, so you can cut your strip to that size. What I did on that big hole was I took 3 pieces. So I did 3 pieces at ½ an inch, like that. Put them through here, all 3 pieces, covered it with cement glue, put it in the center so that the 3 pieces were laying like that, folded it together, stuck it in, and as I stuck it in, it was so wedged in there that it wouldn't go through. So I was pushing as hard as possible, and because it was such a big wad, it wouldn't go any further, and the cement, contact cement, had already seized it up. So when I pushed it, it tore the center right out, and then I was able to just pull it right out easily. Okay, so basically the piece went in like that, and because it was 6 plies, it was 6 pieces, they all sandwiched together, 6 pieces, wouldn't go any further, so when I broke it, it slid right out. Pretty simple. Alright, so that's how the plug worked, and after that I took a box cutter and just trimmed it off. So I just trimmed it off to make it flush. Now, the other one has been going well for the last 24 hours, but remember, anytime you plug a tire, unless you patch it, alright, or if you have a nail in there, and if you have a nail in your tire and you ride in the rain, I can tell you that the rain causes the rubber to expand a little, and it breaks what they call a covalent bond. There is a covalent bond around the nail like that. When water and moisture gets in there, it starts to bubble, and it starts to break that little suction, and the air will escape at that point. So after a rain, you may get a flat tire, or you may have a air loss, and it might just go down to 20 pounds, and that would be it. For me, I had 3 nails in my tire, so I didn't even see it. It was so thin and small, and they were so pressed in there that I was looking at the tire every week and I couldn't even tell it was in there. So I slimed it, and it pretty much sealed up the hole. So slime is a good product, and it does work. I would have patched it, but it's such a difficult tire to remove decided to plug it, and then when it's worn out, because it's 50% right now, it's got about 50% of life, I'm just going to cut the tire off the wheel because it's so difficult. With the Harbor Freight cutoff tool, I'll just cut it right off with it, no problem. That thing just 23,000, 30,000 RPM, grinder cutter. So it'll eat through that tire in a heartbeat. So keep long story short, and in summary, an inner tube tire, old one or new one. If you have bicycles, an old one is great. Cut them into pieces. Make sure the trick is that you cover it with cement because it begins to sticky to each other, and when it compresses in that hole, it literally fuses into one piece. And put the rubber cement around the whole tire and the hole also. So the instructions say to put rubber cement on here, rubber cement in here, and stick it in the hole, and get it thoroughly lubricated before you stick your plug in there. In all honesty, I think this works a lot better than the plugs. Plugs are not very expensive. You can get 20 plugs for $1.50. This kit right there, it says $1.50. I got this 12 years ago, and it is a really good kit. I still have it. $1.50, and I'm going to reuse these things, so they definitely worth it. I believe they're $5 now. They cost about $5 now. So I do need rubber cement. So this is my patch kit. I need new rubber cement, which is $3. I'll get it at Walmart, I guess. Other than that, I believe that DAP and 3M has rubber cement that's heavy duty or super strong rubber cement. So that probably would be a better product. Alright, so that concludes on how to plug a tire and how to make a better plug and how to use a inner tube if your plug is not strong enough, is not the right size, or just doesn't work. In my case, I've got 4 plugs stuck in my tire. It just broke because it's so old. And I was going to pull this one out, but when I put 40 pounds of air in, it just spit it out like a spitball. So, inner tube, cement glue, 6 plies. I've got 4 plies on the smaller hole, 6 ply on the bigger hole. Both of them were so tight when I pushed it in that it broke. As I was pushing it in, it broke, and I was able just to pull it out. So that's how tight it went in, and it went in really tight. And it went in so tight I could not push it in any further. And I literally was pushing, and then it just gave away. And then I pulled it right out. And with the rubber cement and everything all over it, it just fused together. And then took the knife and cut the tips off, made it nice looking and everything. So I hope that plug works, and I hope it works for you, because I had to get my bike towed home. I had to pay for a tow. A tow truck came to pick me up. I also forgot my wallet that day. So not only did I not have my wallet, I was texting my brother, and I was like, "Can you get me the name for this insurance company?" He was out with his family on Saturday or Sunday. It was Saturday, I think. So he, luckily I had it on my telephone because I called him recently, and actually I renewed the policy recently, so I had the number 20 spaces down. Luckily, they had my contact, and I didn't need my wallet, but I couldn't tip the guy, couldn't do nothing. I couldn't even buy any Fix-A-Flat. Even if I would have gone into a gas station, I couldn't buy Fix-A-Flat. Basically, I was screwed. I had to get it towed home. But that hole was gigantic, and like I said, I hope this works very well. I'm 90% confident that it's going to work extremely well. So next I will do a review on the Joe Blow and also a Leatherman MUT, which is one of the most unique knives that you will ever see.